For humans, life is a short journey, but for Frieren, an elven mage who has lived for thousands of years, life feels more like eternity. She witnesses her friends being born, growing, and eventually dying, while she remains the same. Frieren is not just a fantasy tale, it is a reflection on time, loss, and the search for meaning after everything we love is gone. Today we will break down Frieren through 6 pillars: psychology, philosophy, sociology, morality, idealism, and inspiration. Psychologically, Frieren lives in a paradox. As an elf, she has a lifespan of thousands of years. Time stretches so long that she rarely feels urgency. For her, 10 years feels like a single season to humans. Because of this, she fails to grasp the depth of her companion's emotions. She didn't cry when parting, nor did she feel loss, at least not at that moment. But when Himmel died, she finally understood. Even if brief, the time shared with humans carries a meaning that can never be repeated. Psychologically, this resembles delayed grief, sorrow that arises long after the loss has occurred. Frieren's philosophy of life changes after that loss. At first, she saw life as a long, endless journey without deeper meaning. But Himmel's death taught her one thing: that the limitation of time is exactly what makes life precious. This aligns with existentialism, the idea that humans must create meaning within a short and finite life. Frieren, despite her immortality, learns from mortal humans. She comes to realize that togetherness, memories, and love are the truest forms of meaning. Paradoxically, it is because she lives for thousands of years that she can recognize how valuable even a single decade with humans can be. This becomes the philosophical turning point that transforms her from a cold mage into someone who learns to understand love and emotions. From a sociological perspective, Frieren is always the outsider. Different race, different lifespan, different worldview. Human societies grow, change, and fade, while she remains. However, through her relationships with her disciples, Frieren starts to rediscover social bridges. Fern teaches her patient closeness, while Stark brings her a sense of family dynamics. Her sociology is simple yet profound. Despite differences, humans and elves can complement one another, and the meaning of life often emerges not from solitude, but from community. Morally, Frieren is calm and non-absolute. She does not crave power, does not seek recognition, and has no grand ambitions. She simply does what is right in her own quiet way. But her morality also appears passive at times. She doesn't always prevent tragedies, nor does she always take the role of the grand savior. For her, some things simply cannot be changed. Here lies Frieren's unique moral stance, that goodness does not always have to be heroic. Sometimes goodness appears in small forms: mentoring a disciple, keeping a promise, or simply remembering those who have passed. Frieren's idealism is born from regret. After losing Himmel, she vows to understand humans better, to appreciate what she once dismissed as trivial. Her idealism is no longer about saving the world. That journey is already over. Instead, it's about cherishing the values of everyday life. She believes that the greatest magic is not the most destructive spell, but the kind that can bring small warmth into life. This is Frieren's idealism, finding meaning in simple things, the very things often overlooked because life passes too quickly. So what inspiration can we take from Frieren? First, that time is a gift, and its limits are what make it valuable. Second, that loss can be our greatest teacher. Through pain, we learn to treasure the people who are still with us. Third, that happiness doesn't need to be spectacular. Sometimes it is the smallest moments, a conversation, a short journey, a simple memory, that lasts forever. Frieren teaches us that whether life is long or short, what matters most is not how long we live, but how deeply we love. Frieren, the eternal mage, witness of time, and seeker of meaning after everything has passed. She is a symbol that even within immortality, there is loneliness that only human connection can fill. She is proof that every character always has something to teach us. If there's another character you'd like us to analyze, write it in the comments. And remember, in every story, there's always meaning worth sharing. See you in the next episode of Beyond Characters.